Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Melleny and I think it's about time we talk about my spooky TBR for this October. I am so excited that it is finally October. It's the time of the year where I host something called Thrilltober. It is not like a readathon or whatever, it's a challenge to myself to read all the thriller books. I have 5 shelves, like it's basically one bookcase full of thriller books, and it's probably the genre that I love to read but don't have the most read on my shelves at the moment, which is insane. I love reading fantasy and thrillers. Like those are my 2 genres that I always come back to in the moment where I need comfort or whatever else, and I am so excited for this year. There are some amazing titles that I'm really excited to get to. In addition to that, I decided to also participate in a readathon or 2 or maybe 3, because there is also a 24-hour readathon happening this month, so I'm very excited. I have some amazing titles. Some of them will be rereads, some of them will be new, some will be buddy reads. It's all just going to be a fantastic time in general. I didn't limit myself this time around to just thrillers, but rather all things spooky, dark. You're getting where I'm going with this. I first want to mention the 2 readathons. Actually there's 3, I realize now there's 3. The first one being Gothtober. I will insert a quick little clip over here whilst I discuss it. And basically you went and you played a game and you chose some options. I chose some options that I think are very true to me, and you can see them over here, and that produces your prompts for the readathon. There are some prompts that are like the same throughout the readathon, meaning that every person will have those prompts. I think them being like read a thriller by a BIPOC author and then read a thriller by an LGBTQ++ author as well. So that's what I came up with. So I don't want to get too much into that because I haven't entirely chosen my entire TBR for that. Then the second readathon that I'm taking part in is Halloween. I'll have Haley linked down below. I'm quite a new subscriber to her channel. Quite like how she basically reads a shit ton of thrillers consistently throughout the year, whereas I only read like once a year. But she is also hosting like a weekend long readathon. Halloween is taking place on the weekend of the 13th to the 16th, and I will of course be participating in that as well. We were also given some prompts for that. The third and final readathon, actually no, there's 4. Oh my gosh, there are 4 readathons. The third one is Spoopathon, and I'm really excited for this one because it just looks like fun. So this one, you are in a zombie apocalypse and Brad has been bitten and you are now going out into the world looking for the cure, and you have to fulfill some prompts to make your way through everything. It is a very easy readathon, which is why I'm participating in it as well. It's a month long, the same with Gothtober, Halloween, and the one I'm about to mention is the only one that has like a time constraint to it. The 4th readathon that I'm actually participating in is the Dewey's 24-hour readathon. It takes place a couple times throughout the year for like different things. There are challenges, like hourly challenges for photos and stuff like that. I will be participating in that 24-hour readathon. It is a set readathon, so everyone is starting at the same time, ending at the same time, regardless of their time zones. So do keep an eye out for that. I'll have all that information down below for you to check out if you're interested. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be reading for that. Probably going to be trying to finish the books that I haven't yet finished for the month. I think without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about my TBR. So the first one I have on here is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I have been wanting to reread the series for so long, but this feels like a very autumnal slash Halloween-esque series, and I've read this before. I've read the entire series. I haven't read the new one, which follows just 2 characters from here, but I am interested to maybe pick that up in the future. But I really want to reread this. I initially read the series completely as audiobooks, so I kind of want to go back and annotate these. I have like a whole paperback copy set of this, and I'm really excited to actually read it again. It's been, I think, a little bit of a long time since I picked it up. Then the next book I have here is 5 Survive. I do have a proof for this. This is coming out, I think, I don't actually know. I think this is a January book for us in South Africa, but it is a December book for everyone else. Yeah, this is UK. So this is coming out on the 8th of December, and I figured I want to pick it up because it is Harley Jackson. It is a thriller, and it's about 5 people who survive an accident. I'm a massive fan of Harley Jackson, keeping in mind I've only ever read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder twice now, but I really enjoy that series, and I think this one is going to be fantastic, and it's just going to get me excited to read more of her books. If possible, I might pick up Good Girl Bad Blood but I don't know. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to read too many books this month because I did that last month and I feel like it flopped a little bit. Then the next book I have on here is The Midnight Club by Christopher Pike. This is currently a Netflix movie, I want to say. It is such a short read. It is like perfect for a readathon, and I'm really excited. I will be buddy reading this with Roseanne, and I'm really excited to pick it up because, as mentioned, it is so short. It's like 150 pages long. Then the next book that I would really like to read is The Game by Scott Kershaw. This I had on my September TBR and I didn't manage to get to it at all, which is quite devastating because I've heard some really great things about this, that this book is addictive and you just cannot put it down. So I'm hoping that is the case when I have to squeeze it in for one of the readathons and I can just power through it. It is not too long. It does come in at 400 pages. Like, I'm pretty sure most of these thriller slash spooky reads are, but I am really hoping that I fly through this one. The next book I have on here is one that I'm really excited for, and that is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This book has had me like really excited to read it ever since I saw it at the office, and I've been thinking of when to pick it up, but I've been kind of postponing it until October because I really want to read it during spooky season. Obviously, I think everyone has pretty much read this or knows about this book. A deliciously dark retelling of Dracula, A Dowry of Blood is a saga of obsession, desire, and the lengths to which we'll go to protect the ones we love. How amazing does that sound? So I'm so excited to pick this up. I also plan to read Sundial by Katrina Ward. This one I'm so excited for. This is apparently an epic horror that just will have me reading constantly and I will not be able to put it down. So I'm so excited for this one. It just sounded so great. It says you cannot escape the desert, you can't escape Sundial. And I know that, I don't think it's on this one, but I think for the Last House on Needless Street, which everyone is reading this year apparently for October, which is what her debut, I think, and her backlist title, Stephen King blurbed that one, and I'm so excited. And obviously Stephen King is the king of horror and thriller, so I'm really excited to pick this one up because apparently this one is amazing. And then hopefully if I like this one enough, I'll pick up The Last House on Needless Street. The next book I have on here is Truly Darkly Deeply by Victoria Selman. I mean, the tagline is, he's a monster hated by everyone but you. And I don't know, that just sounds like it's going to be an interesting read with some interesting twists. And this cover is something that really just grips me. I love the darker colors and then the rose, and even the rose looks a little bit wilted and dying. I don't know, it's just a very attractive cover. And then the next book I have is Lying Beside You by Michael Robotham. And a colleague of mine is a massive fan of him, and I've never actually read a Michael Robotham before. So this is gonna be my first one. This is another one that sounds really cool, and he's apparently the master of suspense, and I cannot wait to pick this one up because why not? I mean, beware the devil you know. Come on, guys. I am such a sucker for taglines. Then the next book is also going to be a buddy read, and that is Black Lake Manor by Guy Morpus, and this just sounded so good. A locked room, a brutal murder, and a killer who can unwind time. I mean, come on. And this is obviously a proof that I have, but I do believe it will be out in October in South Africa, so if you're interested to pick it up, please do. I'll be reading this with a whole bunch of people, which I cannot wait for because it just sounds so good, okay? I'm a sucker for a really good tagline, as is apparent. The next one I'm so excited for because Haley, as I mentioned earlier on the video, talked about this book and it just sounded like right up my alley, and that is Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. I've never read an Alice Feeney before. I know what is this criminal life we live in, but I'm really excited for this one. I think I'll be buddy reading this with Roseanne, who I'll have linked down below. Anyone who has an Instagram who I'm buddy reading with, I'll have linked down below with the book, so you can go and check them out if you think that you'll be interested in hearing more about the book from my own opinions. And darkness runs in the family. I mean, come on. But I will say that Haley is definitely the person who sold me on this book, and I'm really excited to pick it up because it just sounds so gosh darn good. Then the next book, which is the last on the stack that I have right here, is The Eye of the Beholder by Margie Orford. This is a South African writer. This is published by Jonathan Ball, for who I work, and we are hosting a read-along for this book. I'll have all of that information down below if you're interested. It is available on, I think, all ebook retailers if you're interested. This just sounded just so good. When danger lies in the eye of the beholder, what happens when you reject its pull? I'll pop my favorite story that we did for this right over here for you to check out, and I'm really excited for this. Apparently it is a phenomenal read, 5 stars for one of my colleagues, so I just have to pick it up because I trust her taste. Then we're moving on to last little bit of our TBR, and the first book I have here is Juniper and Thorne by Ava Reed. This obviously is another one of those books that was self-published and then is now being traditionally published, and I really want to pick this one up because this is a dark romance. It fulfills some of the prompts I have in place, so why why not? I'm really excited for this one. I think I'm gonna fly through it. I received it quite recently from Penguin, so I'm really grateful for them for sending this my way, because I have been really anticipating to pick this one up. And a book that I don't have with me right now is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I am so excited for this one. This one fulfills quite a few prompts in itself, and this just sounded so spooky and fabulous. And the cover in itself is just one that I think is perfect for like both autumn and spring, and I think it's like a really great contrast, and I'm really excited for that title. But because I read The Family Upstairs, I've been really excited to pick up The Family Remains, and I'm so excited that I can finally pick it up this month. I got gifted this for my birthday, which was like such a great present, because honestly I am dying to pick this one up. I know it's gotten some mixed opinions and reviews so far, but I am hoping to just love this, and it currently matches my edition of The Family Upstairs. I think they both have yellow spines, and this like very simple spine is very Lisa Jewell. Then another book that I couldn't get to in September, which I'm very sad about, is Girl Forgotten by Karen Slaughter. I obviously recently read Pieces of Her, which is the first book in the Andrea Thatcher series, which I think this is part of. I think it's Andrea Thatcher, and this is the second one. Obviously you can read these two standalones. That's how Karen Slaughter writes her books. They're kind of sequels, but they're also kind of not. But I'm really excited for this one. I received this not too long ago to review, so I'm really excited, and I need to read this. I need to read it, okay? Then with the peak in Megan Miranda books that everyone has been reading up until this point in time, I picked up Such a Quiet Place at the Reader's Warehouse close to me a while ago, and my boyfriend got it for me, and I just need to read this because he's always like, you never read the books I buy you. So I'm like, I'm gonna read this one. Isn't that enough? Then I have another book on here which I'm kind of picking up to see if I'm going to be hate reading it or really enjoying it, and that is The Hive by Scarlett Braid. And this has been receiving a lot of mixed reviews from everywhere, locally as well, a whole bunch of mixed reviews, and I'm really just picking this. I just need to read it to see what it's all about, you know? This isn't a story, this is my confession. Charlotte Goodwin looks directly at the camera on an Instagram live broadcast. She killed her ex-boyfriend's new partner in cold blood, but she's not finished yet. With bloodied hands, she takes a calm sip of tea before continuing. She asks the thousands of viewers a simple question: should her ex-boyfriend live, or should he die? Read the confession, you decide. And this just sounded really great. I mean, that is enough to really pull you in. Pretty sure this is told between present time and past time, so we can really get a good grip of the story. But as I said, I've heard some really dodgy things about this, so I'm interested to see how this all unfolds. Then the very last book that I have on my thriller TBR is The Favor by Nora Murphy, and this is a domestic thriller about two characters who have never met and should never have met despite being in common areas, until one day one of the characters notices something that they shouldn't have. At that point they decide that they must interfere with this situation, and that's kind of what I know about this book. I'm really excited. This was sent to me by Pan Macmillan, so thank you to them, and yeah, I'm just really excited for this. Then the last book I want to mention is The Priory of the Orange Tree. Now this doesn't match anything else on this TBR. All of these also have like really dark covers, but the reason why I'm adding this on is because there is a Priory of the Orange Tree read-along happening in October up until November to prepare for A Day of Fallen Night, and I have never really finished Priory. I've read it before to like a point, and I was like, I need to be able to really absorb this, and I was sent this like forever ago. This is a massive book. I have the trade. I really do wish I had the hardcover. I might actually see if I can't get the American hardcover before I need to pick this up about next week sometime. But this is one that I'm hoping to read this month. As mentioned, we'll be reading roughly about like 3 chapters a day from this. For this readathon, I don't know who posted it. I really wish I could tell you, but I have the screenshot if you're interested. And because it is technically on my TBR for this month, but it is more so a book that will probably be completed in November, but I thought I'd mention it. And yeah, there's probably going to be some books that pop in here and there because I have a bunch of audiobooks that I am dying to pick up, and I will see how the month treats me and how the reading goes. I'm obviously hoping to at least read 10 books this month, of which there are more than 10 on this TBR. But yeah, I'm really excited. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you are participating in any of the readathons I mentioned, or let me know if you've read any of these books and if I should know something before going into them. And yeah, that is my TBR. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.